You decide. 2010.
Well, was it this time yesterday, Trey? Was it the segment where we did?
No, it was 6:38.
Oh, that's right, 6:38. We had yesterday morning Representative Eric Cantor on, and after tiring of the usual talking points, I decided to badger the representative for not agreeing to debate any of his opponents. Sure, he's a huge favorite to win, and a lot of candidates avoid doing things like debates when they are well in the lead. But I'm one of those people who believes that the voting public deserves to hear a debate. And if you're proud of your record and you're willing to run on your record, you should have nothing to hide, and you should be able to very adequately explain why you voted the way you did and what you stand for. But instead of just giving me a, yes or no, I won't debate, and here's why, he kind of talked around the issue, and to be honest with you, it frustrated me. So, okay, fine. Let's hear from, if he won't debate any of the people he's running against, the least we could do is talk with them and see what they think about why. Floyd Bayne lives in Midlothian. He is an independent Green Party candidate for the 7th District. Now, Floyd, the Green Party part I hadn't really connected before. What's with the Green Party?
Well, Jimmy, it's actually Independent Greens of Virginia, which may create some confusion for some people, but the reality is they are not part of Ralph Nader's Green Party. They're not a bunch of leftist wackos, as some people certainly want to think they are.
Well, what does the Green stand for, then?
They push the idea of light rail as a means of cutting back on our dependence on foreign oil and reducing carbon emissions. So that's the biggest issue. So they broke away from the Green Party years ago because they did not like the leftist-leaning agenda.
So it's kind of it's a splinter group of what was a very narrow party to begin with. I guess the question remains why go with them, if you will, versus just being an independent candidate, or is this an issue that you find extremely important?
Well, when I first started this journey, I didn't have a volunteer staff, and I was literally on my own. And when I was contacted by them, they advanced the idea that they had the infrastructure and the experience to help independent candidates go up against the two-party system. And I needed that help, and we sat down and talked, and I made it clear what I was about. That for me, it was about fiscal conservatism, limited government, and a return to the Constitution. And they made it clear that they did not promote an agenda for the candidates. The candidates set their own agenda. They are about promoting independence. They are about getting people to be less apathetic and more involved in the process. In fact, if you go to their website, the URL is votejoinrun.us. And the first thing you see when you get there is less apathy. So it's all about getting an independents involved in the process and giving them a leg up, if you will.
Yeah, as you know, the person who run again, Representative Eric Cantor, long-serving member of Congress. He is a minority whip. He is a very powerful man in Congress. We can argue all day long about how he got the power that he has, but what has it been like to go up against somebody like that? And what, in your opinion, because he is one of the most conservative members of Congress as far as that goes, what has he done wrong?
Well, I'd argue if you
now, before you laugh too hard, I'm comparing him to everybody else that's currently in Congress.
Okay, well, all right, relatively speaking.
Yes.
Well, I find it interesting, Jimmy, that President Obama, a busy man, has the time to come to the 7th District and talk to people, but the representative from this district can't seem to find the time to do it. He's got time to write books and go to book signings and travel the country raising money, but he doesn't have time for a debate or to just hold a simple open forum town hall meeting.
Wait, you don't have an autographed copy of Young Guns?
Well, actually, yeah, I do, Jimmy.
You mean you showed up at a book signing to get him to sign one of those for you?
Well, actually, the primary purpose was to ask him face-to-face why he won't debate.
And did you get an opportunity to ask him that question?
Oh, yes, I did.
What did he say?
If you go to my website at floydbayne.com, it's the very first video you'll see there.
Okay. Paraphrase for me, humor me here. In a nutshell, what did he say?
Thanks for coming out.
That was it?
That was it.
Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for coming out, Floyd. So, Jimmy, it's frustrating in the sense that, like you, I believe that any candidate for office has an obligation to the voters to explain himself. The voters have a right to ask questions and expect answers, not song and dance, not political speak. You ask a simple question, you should get a simple answer.
Okay, in a nutshell, Floyd, what do you think the representative needs to explain himself for? What has he done wrong?
Let's start with TARP. And from there, we can work our way backwards. How about $10.8 billion more dollars for Amtrak, that big money hole? How about No Child Left Behind, Medicare Part D, PEPFAR, $55 billion to Africa so they could fight AIDS over there? I mean, Jimmy, the list goes on and on, back to 2000 when he first started. He was part of the Republican Congress that helped to grow our budget deficit to the largest it had ever been in the history of this country before Obama took office. So you can't claim to be a conservative, and you can't claim to be fiscally responsible when you've done nothing during your career but grow the federal bureaucracy.
So from your aspect, again, you are about limited government.
Jimmy,
obviously, if you're there,
running.
obviously you are. If you are elected, what are the programs that you would work to try to repeal?
I would try to get rid of National Endowment for the Arts, the Department of Education, anything that is not constitutionally authorized for the federal government to be doing. I would get rid of it. Okay.
And do you feel qualified to interpret that living, breathing document we're told the Constitution
I don't believe it's a living, breathing document, Jimmy. I believe it says what it means, and it means what it says. The genius, the absolute brilliance of that document is it does not address technology. I was asked this question yesterday. Well, you know, the things have changed. They couldn't have possibly known how things are going to evolve. Well, we didn't know they were going to have AK-47s back then, so why would we still have that Second Amendment thing? Well, they also didn't know we were going to have telephones and TV and computers, so should we just get rid of that whole First Amendment thing too? The genius of the document is that it addresses the human animal and the propensity for governments to become tyrannies. And so it put in place the checks and balances to try to keep that from happening. But the key to that is you have to have moral, conscientious people in the government who are willing to say, no, I'm not going to do that. It's not constitutional. No, that infringes on the rights of the citizens, and it's my obligation to see to it that their rights are not infringed upon.
Okay. Wish I had more time, Floyd. Maybe we'll get a chance to get you back before the election. Thanks for joining us.
Love to do it. Thank you.
Take care.